Eugen spoke about the ascent out of darkness to breakthrough. Recently, I've heard several examples of people who have broken through to victory. One of them, who I can actually see at the moment, but she's slightly behind. Yeah, okay, that's better. Good. One of them is a woman's victory with her husband. After decades of not sharing together much meaning or depth, they took the Art of Living seminar together. And afterwards, they broke through to a deeper understanding and purpose together than since they were first married. Another victory is by a young woman. After she was sexually harassed, ever so subtly, by an older man at work, with a little help from her friends, she stood up to the man. And she told him, "You should never do that to anyone." And he apologized deeply. Another victory is of a woman who has been repeatedly attacked by a family member. She's on a path to deal with that in victory. It's still in progress. I am so proud of each of these women. When I heard of their victories, I felt it in my body. I felt my energy lighter, and at times I felt tingles from head to toe. A person usually feels some relief when they move through to victory. But it's actually quite rare for a person to realize the gift their personal victory is to other people. Their victory opens the way for more people to choose a brighter future. So your victory doesn't just inspire other people. It actually opens a channel for their victory. Have you seen animations that show how new habits and approaches actually fire new synapses in our brain? So, our new habits actually open pathways that make it easier to choose that path the next time, literally in our brains. Like that, your personal victory opens new pathways for humanity. Now, that may have sounded like a really nice theory before, but aren't you beginning to experience the reality of this as people share their personal victories on Kakao Talk, people in our network? So, I hope that what I share today may help you have more victories. And a good start is to more deeply realize the power of your personal victory. It doesn't just uplift you, it uplifts many. And that uplifting breakthrough power is particularly strong in hard-won victories that take everything we've got. At some level, you know this because you've seen it often in movies. When we watch somebody in what seems like an impossible circumstance, and then they break through to victory, we all feel inspired. So how can we break through to victory in the dark despair we sometimes feel in our lives? A few days ago, I heard that the suicide rate in Korea for young women in their 20s has risen 43% compared to last year. It's 7 times higher than the suicide rate of their mother's generation in the 50s. And this has largely gone unnoticed. So I want to say to these young women, I understand your loneliness, the powerlessness and despair you sometimes feel. Having lived nearly 14 years in Korea, I've had enough experiences that I get it. At times, it looks utterly hopeless to any of us. But although it may seem that there are 25 or 100 things wrong, you can find one thing that is right and true enough to be the starting point for your new cycle of victory. In the 3 examples of the women that I described at the beginning, each of these women found that starting point. It was and always is in oneself first. The courage and faith to start anew, to do something different. That opens a door to discovering the seed of opportunity in the circumstance. So though it may seem that you're locked in a hopeless situation, when you access your courage, your faith in life, in yourself, you begin to sense there is a way through. You may not see it in detail, but you can sense it. And then you dare to do what is yours to do, in as true a spirit as you can muster. And you begin to feel your strength, and that initiates your new cycle. At first, it's just a tiny ray of hope, but it begins to grow. The atmosphere of expressing your true self begins to fill you and your circumstance. That gathers momentum and starts to take form. Your new cycle is underway. For the Awakening seminar that will happen in early December, 14 young women have signed up. It will be an opportunity to more deeply assist them to have these victories. And Eugen and I are considering additional ways people can help to make victories deeper, more grounded, and available to more people. So it's good to focus our compassionate support for these young women in their 20s. But I hold in my heart also the powerlessness, loneliness, and despair that women of all ages sometimes feel, especially in Asia. The challenges they face may be different, but they're similar in essence. I hold in my heart also the challenges that men carry. Living here, I've come to understand how many hurdles a man must overcome to be a true man in Korea. Actually, in many places, people are experiencing extraordinary challenges. I often think of people who are forced to leave their countries and the horrible conditions they face. And we could name many more. And I want to suggest that we take a moment in silent attunement to hold all of these in our heart, with compassion and deep respect for the courage and faith it takes for them to just keep going. Thank you. 감사합니다. May they feel our support for their personal victories. In the Art of Living seminar, before we begin time travel, we spend some time blessing some loved one in their moment of great loneliness. And then we bless ourselves in a moment of great loneliness. Most of you have attended our Art of Living seminar. I wonder, when you chose your moment of loneliness, if you found what I always find. I thank myself for not giving up. I feel again what trust and courage it took in that dark despair just to keep going, even when I saw no hope. And I feel again, I'm so thankful I did keep going.